Motion is everywhere in all of our feeds, in all of the videos we see, in all of the products we use. And it's still crazy to see that we're still stuck with the tools from the past with After Effects as an incumbent.
Today we're going to talk about the evolution of motion design. The softwares are still the same even though the way to work has changed. More accessibility, more collaborative work, and creativity. This is the project of Sébastien Roby, CEO and co-founder of Jitter.
I built my first startup about 15 years ago when I was in Silicon Valley. The company went great. I was product designer there. After that, I spent a couple of years back in France where I helped several startups launch their product going from 0 to 1 until I decided I wanted to start a new company again. And so because I'm a designer, I've always been struggling with animations and motion design in general. I saw all of these other designers struggling the same, and I was thinking like there must be a better way for this. And basically this is how we got the idea of making Figma for motion design. Motion is everywhere in all of our feeds, in all of the videos we see, in all of the products we use. And it's still crazy to see that we're still stuck with the tools from the past with After Effects as an incumbent. The tech was not ready. So I think that being able to have the tool in the browser is a requirement for accessibility and to make sure that you really reinvent the workflows and make them truly collaborative, because there's nothing to install. It's as simple as opening a link in your browser. And second thing is, I don't think that anyone really tried to reinvent how motion should work. Traditional tools like are using a super complex framework with keyframes, which is like insanely complex to edit. And nobody really tried to reinvent the way you can actually do animation to make that much more accessible to any designer and even non-designer people. And this is one of the problems we really focused on at the beginning of Jitter. I think that's one of the hardest things with design tooling is that designers have like super high expectations about what a design tool should be. And so there were like three main steps for us. The first one was, what do we do to reinvent motion design in general and reinvent the animation system? So there was a lot of research and development here. Second, let's build all of the base, all of the features that designers expect. And then let's add the collaboration layer on top with real-time collaboration, commenting, so that we can transform the workflows. And so building that minimal feature set, this is really what took the most time for us, because if you are missing one feature and that feature is part of the brand, then they just can't use Jitter. This is why it was super important to build all of that base with all of that feature set and have it complete before we can actually tackle the market and spread massively. I don't think AI really changed the trajectory, because like since the beginning we reinvented the animation model. Instead of using traditional keyframes where you have to describe everything that is happening at any point in time, we invented something new where you can actually describe or tell your objects what to do, like slide in, fade out. And it turns out that all of these instructions are things that are super easy to manipulate by LLMs. We can use AI to turn Jitter into an even more productive tool, but it didn't really change all of the underlying base that we've built before that. Creativity, in my opinion, is inherently human first, but I think it's great to enhance creativity, so make people more creative and also make them more productive, automating all of the boring work, giving more ideas so that you can actually focus more on what you want to create. So when we launched Jitter, we had a huge traction from solo users from the start. All of those design influencers and content creators on Instagram, TikTok who made lots of videos about it. And then like about 1 year ago, we added all of those team features to the product, which was part of the vision from the start. And we've really seen that change in the behavior and the adoption of the tool. And we started to sign big names. We started to see all of those new logos, big teams who started to use Jitter as a team. And what's really interesting is that they're not creating one-off animations anymore, but we see that it's transforming their workflow, and now they're doing like content production much more continuously and spreading across the organizations. So that's very exciting. We want to become the all-in-one platform for animated and video content production. The typical workflow to me is like the designers create templates, components, building blocks that are on brand and animated by default, that can be reused by anyone in the company, and especially marketing teams, content teams, who become like much more autonomous to scale the content creation. But it remains consistent with the brand because all of those building blocks have been made by the designers in the first place.